Welcome back. It's the show that is not a show, but if it was a show, it would be live on Mondays for you to hang out and enjoy and imbibe, and it's not a show. Think of it like a happy hour. Think of it like a weekly live stream. Think of it however you want, but it's not a show. So the whole point of all of this is for us to hang out and have a drink together virtually. So you guys know the drill, hopefully, at this point. Jump on the chat and tell us what you're drinking, where you're drinking it, who you're drinking it with. You get it, right? We just hang out and drink together. No matter where you are, the chat will come and pop up on screen for everybody, so we can all do this together. If you want to get really crazy, let me turn the phone lines on, and you can always call into the show. Give me just a second. If I can remember which one it is. There we go. And phone lines are on. So if you want to call in, you can do that too. The number is 567-70-DRINK. That's 567-703-7465 if that is easier for you to do it that way, because nobody knows how to do the letters anymore. Let's see. Marco's breaking with tradition. He has to drop off the car for service, so he is not drinking a beer yet. Julia is drinking Ramble On from Mad Tree. Stacy is at Sonder, and Brian is drinking a Giga Coaster. Thanks for the invite, guys. I could have broadcasted live from Sonder and had a beer with you. I'm halfway kidding. We're kid-free tonight, so our house is really quiet and very strange feeling. Our kids are both at a sleepover. So, like I said, very quiet. If you listen, there's no stomping. Although if you listen close enough, I'm sure my wife has some kind of movie playing or some kind of Criminal Minds or something on TV upstairs, so you can probably hear just as much noise as normal. All right. So I am going to crack into a beer. This is one of my favorite summertime beers, warm weather beers. Pinwheel from Urban Artifact. It's their orange Goza. Used to be kumquats, and then there was a hurricane or something that wiped out like all of the kumquats that you could possibly get, and the crop is still not back to what it was. So they make it with oranges now, and it still is just as delicious. For each 30-barrel batch, they use 500 pounds of oranges, 22 pounds of sea salt, 1 pound of coriander, and 15 grams of vanilla beans. It says, just as the virtue of perseverance is taught in martial arts, a pinwheel symbolizes turning your luck around. Be prosperous. Enjoy a pinwheel. If the can tells you to do it, you got to do it. We'll put it in a Common Beer Company glass because I love those guys. So I had some fun drinking adventures this weekend. Because not only are my kids gone tonight for a sleepover, they were gone last night for a sleepover, and the oldest was gone the night before that on a sleepover, so I haven't seen her in like a month at this point. But yesterday, during the day, my wife ran up there. They're at the in-laws' house, and Stacy is drinking a Voss. They were up at my in-laws' house during the day, and it was a perfect swimming day. So my wife went up there with them. I had some stuff in the morning / early afternoon, which we can probably talk about a little bit, maybe. And then I had to make a decision then if I was going to, after that, drive up to the in-laws' house and swim with the kids and the family and everything, or if I was going to go get some other stuff done that I needed to get done as far as making some videos and that kind of stuff. So I chose to do that because I don't get days like that very often. So I ran around to a couple places and got some footage that I was needing to take. And so we should have some videos coming soon, hopefully. I got to Stopped by 13 Below. I stayed there for just a quick little flight and eat some lunch, and then I ran over to Newport and just to get some footage of the new West 6th tap room in a box, which we can definitely talk about if we want to go down that route. I hadn't seen it yet, so I wanted to get some pictures and some video of it. I did not drink a beer there because it was going to be a long day, so I figured I needed to pace myself. I did grab one at Wooden Cask. They have a new tap room under construction. They closed their they had a shipping container tap room. What's up, Chris? So the what used to be a Wooden Cask tap room is where West 6th is now. Wooden Cask has moved inside, like the mall part of Newport, and they have a storefront that is not done yet. So out in front, they have like a patio, an indoor patio, I guess, and there's just a little kegerator sitting there, and somebody sits there and pours beers when you walk up, and then you can sit anywhere inside or outside then with that beer. So they will have a tap room, but it's not there yet. So I had to go to kind of check that out, see where it was in the overall progress department, and then stopped by Braxton. Had to get some stuff of the rooftop. They're doing some kind of weekly series on the rooftop that was lots of dance music and people dancing, and it was loud and not the drinking atmosphere that I wanted. But I had to get some pictures and some video, so I did that and had a beer there, and then I ran back home and came back. Chris says that my current stance screams, I have a little captain in me. Don't we all have a little captain in us? I don't have arms on this chair. Is this better? I need some beer. I love this beer so much. Oh, it's so good. All right, so before we choose which route we want to dive down, let's go ahead and dive into some label approvals, since those are always fun. It gives us a little sneak peek into what some people are cooking up. Couple fun ones here. Nothing too crazy, but there's a couple good ones that you guys will like seeing. So let's do that real quick. So this is a clear label, so I assume that's why it's popping up black here. This is more of the Tekraza that we keep seeing every single week, but I have never seen it in a store, so I don't really know, again, still the full story of what's going on here. This is booze. It is flavored booze. This is 80 proof. I don't know if you can see that on there, but it is 80 proof. Blackberry. And then there's another one, blueberry, also 80 proof, so this is more flavored booze, which we're seeing a lot of now. Seltzer and flavored booze products. The trend continues. We saw this a while back. I haven't looked to see what the difference between this label and the one we already saw. But this is Bushel. I assume a new seasonal Goza from Urban. That's what it looks like to me. Spiced apple, so I'm going to guess the fall. It sounds tasty. Sounds like it'd be good with Thanksgiving. Let's see. 29 bushels of apples, 11 pounds of sea salt, 1 pound of coriander, and baking spices. Yeah, sounds good. Here is one of the centerpiece variants that we're going to see. This is shake, pineapple and strawberry with lactose, vanilla beans. I'm sure it'll be just as delicious as they always are. Here's one of the exciting ones, though. this leads to another thing with West Side that I want to talk about. But this is their Tart Amber. We're finally seeing some artwork for that, which means they're going to package it. I'm assuming that this is a can, though it doesn't say. We just know that it is 12 ounces. They did throw out a teaser on social media not that long ago with a big palette of bottles, but they were little bottles. They were like 8-ounce bottles, like tiny little guys. I don't remember how many milliliters that is, but that's not what this is, because this is clearly 12 ounces from what the label says. So this is not going in bottles from what I can tell. It's going in cans, but I'm all about it. I love, love, love this beer. If you haven't tried it, get there and try it. It's delicious. 5.1% Tart Amber. Let's go. This is barrel aged amber ale. They keep it on in tap room. It's changed a little bit from time to time and kind of evolved as the barrels have, but it's delicious. So I'm really, really pumped about this one. Really excited. Still haven't got an actual announcement of what they're putting in those little 8-ounce bottles. Speaking of Wooden Cask, not only did I get to stop by the new space, they've got some new labels rolling through. These are bottles, I believe. It doesn't say. I don't see it on here, but all their barrel-aged stuff seems to still be going into 12-ounce bottles. This is the Coffee Fashioned Bourbon Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout, aged on coffee beans and orange peel. So designed to kind of mimic a coffee old-fashioned, which, sign me up for that. I still think Wooden Cask is one of my favorite barrel-aging breweries, breweries that makes barrel-aged beers. They're one of my favorite. And they don't shy away from doing some really kind of off-the-wall barrel-aged stuff from time to time that I've been really happy with. So, yeah, I need this in my life. And then up next, another one. This is the Old Ride Ale. That is 15-year-old bourbon barrel-aged rye ale. The beer is not 15 years old. The bourbon that was in the barrel was, just to clarify. Just a rye ale in bourbon barrels. Yep, sign me up again. Corruption is one of my favorite barrel-aged beers. I want more of it all the time. So keep your eye open for those. That's all I've got as far as label approvals, but there's some fun ones in there. So that's that. So Sunday afternoon, I had a little bit of a meeting of the minds with a few folks. I don't know how much they want me to talk about what we were talking about, but I will definitely be talking to some of you to get your opinions on it. But it is a collaborative effort. Tour to Cincinnati. You guys know Lindsay that runs that. If you aren't familiar with the website, go check it out. And then also Cincy by the Pint, Merrill. They both have been wanting to do this project, and it's something that I've definitely thought about a bunch. I know other people have definitely thought about trying to get it rolling around town, but we'll see. Spill the beans. It may be some kind of passport program or something like that. That's all I'll say. But we met about it. They have definitely both been putting in tons of work trying to put it together, and I'm gonna do what I can to help out and see if we can't get this thing off the ground and get it rolling. Like I said, I know a lot of other people have wanted to do this for a very long time, and I think the city is ripe for it right now if it's done the right way, which is definitely my stipulation. It has to be done the right way. What else? as far as the brewcast goes, I hope everybody listened to this week's episode where we were recording on location at BJ's Brewhouse, which you guys listening to this show know kind of the humor behind that with Marco. I called him kind of last minute to get him to jump on a show with me, and we were talking about where we were going to go record. And I've never done anything at BJ's as far as the brewcast goes. I've definitely drank there a few times, but we thought it was time to actually sit down and just kind of explore them just a little bit. We didn't do any kind of in-depth research as far as the show topic goes. We just sat around and drank some of their beer. I had fun. Everything we drank on the show was good. As soon as we were done with the show, we had another couple beers, and there was some really bad stuff going on there. I still don't really know what was happening with some of those beers. But we sent 2 different pints of beer back, which I don't know that I've ever done before. I don't know that I've ever even sent 1 pint back, let alone 2 pints at the same place at the same time. It was there was something weird going on in several of the beers. And I still don't. I need to actually sit down and talk to somebody that knows more about off flavors than I do, because I don't know. It was like a weird cinnamon thing going on, in like a sweet cinnamon is the way I tasted it in both of them. One was a Bach, which I assumed it was just some kind of weird adjunct that they threw into a Bach to make it more crafty. I don't know, but it wasn't good. It tasted more kind of like a winter warmer, like a spiced winter ale to me than a Bach. Whatever, I could let that one slide. The silver Bach. We then swapped it out and got the amber ale, which I've had there plenty of times. I know what that beer tastes like, and it came with that same weird sweet cinnamon thing going on in the beer, which is not what that beer is supposed to taste like, and I know that. I was going to choke it down and fight through it, but man, it was bad. And so when he came back, he asked us how the beers were, and I was going to be honest and tell him that it sucked. He said, well, I'll get you something else, and he went and took it back. Dirty Lines, maybe. I've never tasted like that sweet cinnamon thing though from Dirty Lines, and it's strange that it would be in just 2 of the lines, the exact same flavor in 2 of the lines, but then not in the other ones. It was very odd, very very strange experience, and definitely kind of ruined what was a fun kind of night at BJ's. Excuse me. Ugh. It was also very very funny to me that it happened right after we got done recording. So none of that made it into the show, which would have made a fun kind of discussion about a lot of stuff, about, as things start opening back up or moving back towards some kind of normalcy, and places that maybe weren't very busy before are getting busier now. You're going to see lots of places with old beer that has been sitting in a walk-in that they're just trying to go ahead and sell, even though maybe they shouldn't, or dirty lines, or there's countless other problems that a place could have. But it caught me off guard. You don't expect a place that is as big as BJ's to kind of fail so miserably. I don't know. So if anybody knows a lot about beer off flavors, I'll actually probably do a little bit of research now that it's back on my mind. I'm gonna make myself a note to read up on some stuff and see if I can figure out what the hell is going on, because it was very disappointing. But I'm glad that I got to go to BJ's, because I haven't been there in a while. If you have been paying close attention, you probably know what show was supposed to be this week again that isn't again. So I did not reschedule the one that was supposed to happen. If they reach out to me, and want to to reschedule it, then we can. But Karen says that BJ's beer was bad before COVID. Their beer was not bad. It wasn't awesome, but it was passable, is the way I would put it. Some of it was definitely better than others, but this was definitely bad. Like I said, I've had their amber ale plenty of times throughout the years, and this was not at all what that beer was supposed to be. And they're cranking out a lot of beer, with how many, 200 and something different, restaurants across the country. Not all of those probably serve their own beer, but they make a lot of beer, and there's not really any excuse for them to do that. Chris says that Brian can help with off flavors. He's sensory magical. He's a sensory magical. And then he corrects himself, magician. Karen says flavor profile on their porter was all wrong and infected. Lee said he had the amber recently. It tasted like vinegar. Yeah, there's definitely something going on there. It's sad. They, and I talked about this in the episode, but, there's a lot of people that give a lot of credit to, places like Platform or Brewdog or North High that are here with tap rooms, and ignore that, BJ's is here with a tap room. Also, Karen says that it's all contracted beer. It is not all contracted beer. They actually have their own. They have several breweries that are theirs, and they make the beer for all of their restaurants. So it is made in one location, then shipped out to those spots, similar to kind of just a bigger version of what some of the other places like Brewdog or like some of the other examples are doing, which was why I wanted to kind of sit down and talk about them a little bit, because they are technically a craft brewery, although clearly not keeping up with the desire for quality that a city like Cincinnati is demanding, and I'm sure lots of other cities that they're present in. It's strange. Okay, contracted within themselves. Yeah, I mean that's not a stupid model when you look at places. We'll say Taft's as our local example of it, where you have your production facility and then you open up these satellite tap rooms that are just restaurants that serve your beer. It's not dumb, but you got to make good beer, and they weren't. Not anything like Gordon Biersch. No. Rest in peace, Gordon Biersch. And that's what, and we talked a bit about this in the episode. They do have fermenters. They make their own root beer, and then they have lots of fake fermenters that just kind of sit there and don't do anything. Not to spoil this episode if you haven't listened to it, but it is kind of strange that a place like Gordon Biersch / Rock Bottom failed and the company went belly up. You had a place like BJ's that the beer is not as good as Gordon Biersch or Rock Bottom's beer were, that they survived. When you look at, and the community involvement of a place like Rock Bottom was never the same as a actual local craft brewery, but they did make some kind of an effort. And again, we talked about this in the episode, but you don't see any of that effort from a place like BJ's. They just ignore the fact that they exist in a city. It is its own little island, and I guess they just assume when you're in here, you'll drink our beer and you'll be happy about it. And if you're not, it doesn't really matter. So it's a very, very strange place. But I thought it was worthy of a stop for the brewcast. It was. Maybe it's worthy for a revisiting where we can try some not so great beer. It's the Pizookie. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's so strange that they not only are able to survive here, they seem to do well here, and I can't figure out why. BJ's has been there in Tri-County since like 2008, I think we said, something like that. And now they have locations in Rookwood, and there's one down in Florence, and there's one up in kind of Springboro, the Austin Landing exit there. There's a lot for a chain like that, which on one hand, I'm happy that we have a city that can support more places like that, but I would just also rather see actual local breweries versus that. If people are going to be drinking something, I would prefer it be something else, personally. You see lots of places looking at that model of, expanding into other cities with tap rooms. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Taft's is up in Columbus with a tap room that they call a brew pub, but I'm pretty sure there's never been a drop of beer made in that place. Certainly isn't now, because when I visited up there, there was just an empty fermenter. There was no actual brewing equipment. See if I can pull up a picture. There was no brewing equipment at all, so definitely not a brewery. You get places like BrewDog that. Here we go. Let me see if I took one. Oh, you know what? It's I did take one, but it's not in here. I took it with my other camera. Sorry, I know this is real exciting for you because you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm looking to see. No, it's going to be too hard to pull it up. It's not important. All that's there is an empty fermenter. I lost my train of thought now. West 6th coming into Newport with a tap room. Same idea, but a little bit different. The rumor that I hear is that tap room is a temporary tap room, and that longer term there may be a brew pub happening in northern Kentucky. So it's the rumor. I don't have any actual evidence of that, and maybe it's wrong, but sometimes it's not. So, and I don't have anything against breweries moving into other cities, but for me, I want it to be an actual brewery if you're going to pretend that you're part of the community. The beer scene, I guess the community is not the right way to word it. The beer scene, you should make your own beer. My opinion. Yeah. So that's that. This week, well, the show that I'm recording this week, so next week's Brewcast, I'm going to head over to Pinball Garage in Hamilton. I don't know if you guys have been there, but it's a pinball bar. So just tons of different kinds of pinball and beer, and I think a full bar, so cocktails and stuff like that too, but we're talking beer. They did a collaboration with Sonder called Wizard Mode, so we're gonna drink some of that and talk about it. So that will be next week's episode, and then after that, the next one is still in flux. I'm doing a bunch of stuff that week. The week after that, we've got some weird Mondays coming up, so I don't know what that means for Weekly Pint. Weekly Pint may be late a couple days. It may be on location a couple times. I'm not sure. Of course, I'm trying to pull up my Evernote and it has to update. So give me a second. This is what happens when you're disorganized and don't pull everything up ahead of time. Things have to update in the middle of the show. At least it's not my computer doing it, though. That could be bad. Trying to buy you time, Evernote. But that week, that first week that we're going to have a weird Monday, we're having a weird Monday because I'm going to run over to Fretboard because Shift Beers will be live at 7 from Fretboard. So I'm assuming that if I do Weekly Pint, it's going to be late because I don't think I can get there for an episode of Shift Beers at 7 and still be home sitting here by 9. But I might, like I said, maybe I'll just, just bring the laptop and just fire it up there. Who knows? Okay, let's see. Upcoming shows. Oh, everything's out of order here. Okay. That's that one. A week after that still is not confirmed either. And then the week after that will be, so we're now talking the show that posts on 7/19. So that's how far ahead I am. And then that is recording live from Fretboard on 7/12. So after you go see Shift Beers live, you get a week off to take a breather, and then come again to Fretboard on that Monday at 7 because we're doing live brewcast, and it is a big show. It is probably my second biggest show maybe that I've done as far as just the amount of people that we're cramming into the episode. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fit everybody on the stage at Fretboard, but we're gonna try. We're talking lager, and we're gonna have, I think, eight breweries. I think it might even be 9 that are all either the biggest lager producers or the geekiest lager people or people who make just a ton of different lagers or some combination thereof. And we're just going to sit around and drink lager and talk about lager. That episode also, hopefully, I will be rolling out some new merch. Hopefully. I don't have any of said merch here yet. I think I have some hats, but they're hats that you've already seen. Not this one. These are too expensive, but I love this hat, by the way. This is, just says Be Gnarly. Kind of a sneak peek at kind of what some of the branding on merch is going to look like going forward. There's a lot of stuff behind all of that. But hopefully, in theory, we'll have glassware ready to go by then. I have a couple new stickers that I'll have in, and possibly, hopefully, I should have some new T-shirts too, but we'll see. So come out and support the Brewcast, support Shift Beers, Beers and Beers. I think they're tonight actually. Beards and Beers, Beers and Beards. I think that they are. I think that they were tonight. So yeah, hopefully you guys stopped out and saw them too. It's fun. And I really like this idea that Fretboard's doing of getting some local podcasts to get out there and be a little louder and more in front of people, because we're usually hiding in our basements or our warehouses for some of you guys. Julia says that hopefully the Shift Beers team is up for some heckling from the crowd. They better be, because it's going to be a shit show. We're all going to be yelling. Can't wait. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, that's what's coming in the near future and things that are confirmed and definitely happening. So stay tuned for all of that. I think that's it, guys. I'm going to go enjoy some. Chris says that no one can take heckling like us. Josh is going to get so stressed out. Thank you guys. Stay tuned for all of that and for lots of other stuff. There's definitely Prost coming this week and hopefully some other videos. I think I have lots of pieces of video ideas that I've been wanting to work on, but none of it's actually like done. Maybe I'll just put together like a video that's just pieces of videos. None of it makes sense in context, but it's a lot of work. And then when you get days like today where you don't have small children running around, all you want to do is just sit and have a beer and not work your butt off. So if you guys don't already know, you can support the show or the shows or the platform or however you want to look at it by going to thegnarlygnome.com/support. That's what makes all of this come together and makes it all actually possible. You can do that. There's also, I need to put together a page of some of like the sponsored things that you can click on that give me a little kickback. If you ever look on, I think I do it on some Brewcast episodes in the show notes. I put links to stuff. Definitely on videos, on almost all of my YouTube videos. If you scroll down to the bottom of the notes on YouTube, there's lots of like Amazon links and some stuff like that, and some other affiliate things that you can click on, and I get a little kickback. For future reference, if you ever need to buy something big on Amazon, I don't think I'm supposed to tell you that you should do this. I think that's probably a violation of terms of service or something. But if you go in there, click on one of my links to like a beer glass or something, you don't have to buy the beer glass. But if you go then to go buy whatever big thing if you're buying like a refrigerator on Amazon, I don't know if people do that, but if you are, click on my link first and then go buy your refrigerator, because I still get a kickback from that then. So, see? I mean, I can't tell you to do that, but if you do it, it all helps, and it helps a lot. That's, when you do podcasts, you have a couple ways to monetize, and one of those is getting people to click on things. It's either that or put commercials, and I hate commercials. I hate commercials in my shows. I think it changes the flow of everything, and I don't like adding it in there. So I'm trying very hard to not do that as much as possible. So, yeah, thank you for your support, because it prevents that. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go drink my pinwheel. And maybe a pineapple goza, too. I have a West Side pineapple goza in there that's calling my name. Cheers, guys. If you ever have any thoughts or ideas of things that you would like to see from the podcast, from the YouTube channel, any of that stuff, shoot me a message. I like hearing your ideas, too. Thank you very much. Everybody have a good night.